This is Kendra with Trust TV, and I'm back with another video. And I'm segueing off the video that we were watching, to make sure y'all go check it out. And he's talking about patriarchy. And I just wanted to get back on and even talk about patriarchy. And this goes back to even submission, where the problem with patriarchy, again, is because the men has abused the patriotic system. They abused it, right? And this is not to blame men, because women aren't that great, but we're going to call a spade a spade. And if we're looking to solve the problem, we have to now confess that there is a problem to begin with in the first place. And we have to acknowledge the fact that a lot of these systems and the powers that be, that is in society, a patriarchal society, has been abused due to men, right? Because there's nothing wrong with a patriarchal system. God created like that because of sin. That is true, right? But it wasn't because of sin. Sorry, I don't agree with that. I'm sorry, I take that back. It was not due to sin. That's a lie. God told Eve that hold on, let me make sure that I am in here. Okay. The patriotic system was not created off of just Eve's sin, but in fact also created because God even said it. Adam was before you, and Adam was made in my likeness. So Adam was made in God's likeness, where Eve was made in the likeness of Adam, right? So it was already a patriotic, because when you speaking of God, you're talking about him. God is not a girl. He is a masculine spirit, right? So we refer to God as Father, as him. We never speak of him as she or he, and there's nothing wrong with a patriotic society. There's nothing wrong with a man being the lead. He is stronger for a reason. He's ahead for a reason. So I have no problem as a woman. I never saw myself as less than a man. So I have no problem with submission, right? But it is in this patriarchal society. I have no issue with that. I have a problem with people abusing the patriarchal society, because ultimately that is what was done. Men abuse the patriotic society. They abused it through abuse to women and children, where they were raping women. And this is going even back to submission. They were raping them, beating them. And when women didn't want to be beaten, raped, and their daughters didn't want to be beaten, raped, or their sons didn't want to be beaten, raped, they were putting them inside institutions, right? They were putting them in psych wards, insane asylums, because they didn't want to be abused and beaten by their women. They said they had hysteria. You understand? And they were putting these women in shackles and chains if they were not taken advantage of. So, like I said before, the reason why these women who call themselves feminists, had an issue with patriarchal society and even some men who have issues with a male authority, is because these authorities have been abused, right? Just like anything, when you abuse it, people are going to there's an uproar. There are time and time again when you see leaders taking advantage of those who they deem weaker, leaders taking advantage of their congregation, taking advantage of the safety of the people who are confiding in them for guidance. And when you see somebody do that, of course there's going to be somebody that's going to fight back. And of course there's going to be men and women and children that's going to say, you know what, this patriarchal society is seeming like, corruption, like it's not working out. Now, again, that's why I'm not here to point fingers, but men are the reason for this, right? Because when you abuse something, you leave it open for rebellion, right? People are going to want to fight back. They're going to want to take their power back that they felt like was taken from them. And so what you see are a lot of women and children, right? And even some men who are saying, you know what? Male leadership leads to too much chaos. People are taking advantage of people. People are hurting people, raping, beating, stealing, killing. And people are starting to say, oh, do we really want to be under male leadership? Now, if they're smart, they understand that male leadership was designed by God. That's why Adam was made first and not Eve. Eve was taken from the rib of Adam, right? To be his help meet. So understanding God's order and his blueprints, that's how it is. The curse was for her to bear children in pain and agony, right? His was to labor in the field, right? So understanding that in and of itself makes you understand that there is nothing wrong with a patriarchal society. God knew what he did when God knew what he was doing when he wrote Adam first and not Eve. Period. I don't believe in feminism. I'm not a feminist. I think that's just another key word for being a lesbian. I don't care what anybody say. I've never seen a feminist movement in America or, other than prior than back into the day. But I mean now, that is actually decent, right? That is something that stands for something. I've seen these feminist movement, damn right, excuse rape, excuse abortion, excuse fatherlessness. They're not for any benefit of women and families and children. So I don't believe in the feminist movement. Anyway, this is Kendra with Truest TV. Stay up, stay blessed, put God first above all else, guys. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if, in fact, you have your own opinion about this subject matter, make sure you write it down below. And if you do, I might post it. If it's good enough, I'll post it and give you a shout out. Peace out. Bye.